Was my dad, I don't give a where we are at, I'm going to clean you. Since his loss to George Cass's Jr. Teofimo Lopez's performance has been under increased criticism, with the exception of the Josh Taylor fight, the takeover has been criticized for the way he fought against the likes of Sandor Martin, Jermaine Ortiz, and Steve Claggett. However, a big fight would go a long way toward putting his career back on track. Probably that could be the reason why he must have felt it so compelling to call out Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis. On the other hand, the WBO has accepted a 10-day extension request by Terence Crawford to continue negotiations with unified junior middleweight champion Sebastian Fondor. The two fighters have until October 10th to agree before a purse bid is made. However, Crawford is downgrading Fondor before they've even signed for a fight. Crawford said he heard Sebastian Fondor was knocked out in practice by former WBA champ Israel Madoff. Crawford doesn't like that Fondor has quickly shown interest in fighting him after being not eager to face him. This makes Crawford think that Fondor changed his mind about him after watching his latest fight against Madoff on August 3rd and seeing him struggle to win a close 12-round unanimous decision. Crawford said, "That's a fight on the table. If Fondor is licking his chops over my performance versus Israel Madoff, then I should be licking my chops because Madoff knocked Fondor out in sparring, so who should be licking their chops? That's what I heard." Crawford also said that he was offered a fight by Conor McGregor in a crossover match in the octagon, but he turned it down. He spoke to the former UFC champion McGregor on the phone and told him he wouldn't do it because he didn't want to be kicked or elbowed. Crawford says McGregor tried to convince to take the fight, telling him that they could make a ton of money, but he wasn't interested.
I heard that Turkey offered you a 2-fight deal to fight Conor McGregor, one in the ring and one in the octagon. Is that true? Is that true, bud? Is that true, bud?
Man, listen, man. Hey.
You gonna fight Conor McGregor, dude?
I told Conor
in the ring, in the octagon, bud?
I told Conor to himself.
You'll beat his ass?
I said, hell no.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, me and Conor, they called me. You know what I mean? They called me and they offered me to fight. And, I talked. Me and Conor got on the phone and we started politicking, you know, trying to figure something out. And I just told him, man, I'm not getting in no octagon with you so you can be kicking me and elbowing me and shit. And so he get to laughing and shit. He like, man, I respect that.
Yeah.
It was like, man, because you respect my sport just like I respect it.
Crawford himself said that he is in the part of his career where he's aiming to make a bag or better his legacy. The mega fight with Canelo is something that Crawford has eyed for a long time now and is sure that he beats Canelo if the two boxing stars battle in the future.
Yeah, in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I'll beat him.
Crawford was present at the Sphere with Turkey Alik to watch the highly anticipated UFC 306, which took place just 3 km away from the T-Mobile Arena, where Canelo was going head-to-head with Edgar Berlanga. Both Crawford and Turkey Alik took the chance to send a message to the 3-time undisputed champion. Yo, Turkey, tell the fans what we doing next. We want these. Tell them we going for Canelo next. Yes, let's go Canelo. Come on, you heard it from him. We are ready. Crawford's recent victory over Israel Madoff at 154 PBS was important, not only because it marked his first fight to go the distance in 8 years, but also because it raised questions about his punching power as he continues to move up in weight classes. Analysts have speculated that as fighters ascend in weight, they may sacrifice some of their knockout power. This concern becomes particularly pronounced when considering a potential bout with a formidable opponent like Canelo Alvarez, who is known for his explosive strength and skill. Despite these warnings circulating in the boxing community, the 36-year-old Crawford from Omaha remains undeterred. He passionately articulated his desire for this mega fight, stating, "I've been wanting the fight. It's a legacy fight. It's the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like the fight is the last of the Mohicans. I think the fight would be massive. You've got two guys who are top 3 pound for pound going head-to-head. Together, I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm up for the challenge." When questioned about his chances against Canelo, Crawford exuded confidence, saying, "It's all respect, and if he does decide to come my way and we get in the ring, then it would be an electrifying fight. Of course, I'll beat him. There is no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't beat anyone I step in the ring with." Amid this backdrop, there is growing concern that if Crawford cannot secure the high-profile fight with Canelo, he might consider retiring from boxing altogether. Prominent promoter Eddie Hearn has previously suggested that the lack of a major fight could lead Crawford to hang up his gloves.
Terence Crawford will ever fight again. You know, I think unless he gets Canelo, I don't think Crawford will fight.
While Crawford stands to earn significant sums in potential bouts against rising stars like Virgil Ortiz, Jiren Boots, Enos Madoff, and Sebastian Fondor, the financial rewards would pale in comparison to what he might receive for facing Canelo. However, Canelo has been clear about his reluctance to engage Crawford unless the financial terms are exceedingly favorable. The weight disparity has also been a point of contention for Canelo, who revealed, "If I beat him, people will say it was expected because of the size difference, but if he wins, it would be seen as a massive upset." When asked if he would fight Crawford, Canelo said that he would if the money was right. He also said that Crawford would be an easy fight for him because they are different weight classes.
The Sheik said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, hands down.
That'll work. So if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in.
Because of this tense situation, Ryan Garcia has been very loud in his criticism of Crawford, even going so far as to call him overhyped. Garcia said straight out Terence Crawford is not like that. Terence Crawford is a jerk who gets too much attention. I'm sorry, but someone has to say it, you're an overhyped jerk. I'm looking at the camera right now, bro. Stop acting like that. You're wasting everyone's money and not entertaining anyone. You're boring. Despite his negative comments, Garcia did offer Crawford a big chance by saying he would give him the biggest payday of his life if he agreed to a fight. He also said that while Crawford is talented, he thinks Crawford has more weight than he deserves.
I would love to fight you. I feel like I would literally. You're a good fighter. I don't think you've ever fought somebody with talent and explosiveness and power. In my opinion, I mean, you beat Sean Porter. Sean Porter is a great fighter, but kind of basic. Errol Spence Jr. came off a crash. Don't think he's that good. Have you fought anybody with one-punch knockout power?
Crawford, who is 37 years old, is likely to laugh off Garcia's dare because he is focused on getting that mega fight against Canelo before he thinks about retiring. Garcia went on to explain more about his position, saying that as far as Bud Crawford, I called him out already. I think he's only trying to fight Canelo Alvarez, so I don't think that's going to happen. I would love to fight Bud Crawford. I don't think he's as good as people say he is. I say this publicly and I say it on live right now. If Bud is listening, I would love to fight you. I feel I would literally beat the get out of you, Garcia. Emphasized that he is willing to step into the ring, with Crawford suggesting that many other fighters are not prepared to do so. He strongly concluded, I would actually fight him. There's a difference. I would actually fight him. You would actually see Ryan Garcia in the ring with Bud Crawford. I am not able to speak for these other fighters. I don't know if Tank would fight Bud Crawford, but I know I would fight Bud Crawford with pride, and I would go in there and give it all I got. Has expressed his deep admiration for Terence Crawford and his belief in Crawford's potential to devise a strategy to defecting weight classes, yet he remained abilities. He stated, I remember when I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was you should respect weight classes, but Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has good skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something he knows already what to do. His coach knows they will find a solution how to do it, but not everyone shares the same confidence in Crawford's ability to compete with Canelo. Jim Lampley, a respected voice in boxing, voiced skepticism about Crawford's size and capabilities in a matchup against Canelo, especially after Canelo's convincing win over Edgar Berlanga. Lampley noted Crawford's performance against Madrimov, saying that he may not possess the necessary size to go toe-to-toe with a fighter like Canelo.
What do you think about the fight now that you just witnessed Canelo Alvarez again in a masterclass performance?
I love Terence Crawford, and I want him to have what he wants. But off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting Madrimov, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough, and not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shot.
Crawford's showing against Madoff has sparked a bigger debate about his readiness for a clash with Canelo. Many analysts believe that Canelo's strength and experience could present insurmountable challenges for Crawford. Regis Pry, a two-time super lightweight world champion, has often advised Crawford about the risks involved with moving up in weight. He stated, I definitely want to see it for sure, but I don't think can win. I definitely don't think he can win. I tell Crawford all the time, I just don't think they make weight classes for a reason. This last dude he was hitting him stuff, and that dude was a 54-pounder, so I feel like that might be the ceiling for Terence Crawford. Puerto Rico Gordo Rico Gore further elaborated styles do make fights, but Canelo is not just a big puncher. I think that somebody like Crawford, how skilled he is, if Canelo was just a big puncher, he might outbox him, but Canelo is skilled also for me. I just can't see him beating him. I can't see the fight happening anyway. Daniel Jacobs, who faced Canelo in a unanimous decision loss in May 2019, recognized that a fight with Canelo would be a serious test for Crawford. However, he also stated that Crawford's skills could possibly allow him to hold his own. Jacobs stated, "Times pay the bills, and we know for sure that Crawford Crawford has the skills, just sometimes power, weight, and experience may have a role in that, so it will be a good test for Crawford, but I think the fans are the winner in that particular fight. Crawford's former rival Errol Spence Jr. expressed his support for Crawford, saying that if anyone could achieve the improbable, it would be Terence. He remarked, if Crawford wants to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. I'm with it. I'd be going for Bud if he fights Canelo. I don't know if he'd win or lose, but if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness. So why not? Conversely, Bernard Hopkins articulated serious concerns regarding Crawford's decision to pursue a matchup with Canelo. He questioned the wisdom of such a move, emphasizing involved and possible consequences for Crawford's health.
Crawford cares about his life. And what did that fight do for Canelo? Fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo. What do they do there to make less
reservations about Crawford's decision to pursue this fight with Canelo? It's a risky move, and I question the wisdom behind it. As someone who's been in the ring and knows the physical toll it takes, I worry about Crawford's well-being in a matchup against someone like Canelo. What benefit does this fight hold for Crawford? There are plenty of other viable matchups available that don't carry the same amount of risk. Bernard Hopkins said that he'd like to see Virgil Ortiz versus Terence Crawford instead of Crawford fighting Canelo after watching Crawford's performance against Madria.
get fooled by what Crawford displayed last week and a half. But Crawford, to me, I believe, won the fight. I believe the fight could have won a draw. So you can't look at that fight and say that he's there for pickings, that his time is running out. We get up for certain fights at that level, and sometimes it can be not as good as the one that you got up for, which was Errol Spence. So I'm not fooled by what people might be saying about Crawford, whether it's time, whether it's not. Nah, I say he gets up for fights that he gets up for, and he at that age where it takes something super exciting to get excited about. I would like to see Virgil, based on this Saturday, how he looks, how he executes, and how he wins. That it gives me a blueprint to see, yeah, he won, but will he win this way with Crawford?
Juan Marquez added his perspective, suggesting that the weight difference would be a major disadvantage for Crawford in a potential fight with Canelo. He stated, I think it's no good Terence Crawford looking for the fight with Canelo as bigger. Canelo is bigger than him 3 divisions right now, 2 as. Crawford fought at 154, so 2 divisions, but I think the experience and the power, the weight is a plus for Canelo. I think Crawford is a good fighter. You are the best in your division. But when you go to fight in another division, maybe you lose the fight because you lose the power if you go up to another division. Marquez made a comparison to Canelo's fight with Amir Khan, showcased impressive speed and agility in the early rounds, but eventually fell victim to a devastating knockout in the 6th round. Did you see the fight with Canelo against Amir Khan? Khan used his speed and moved around the ring, and then Canelo knocked him out with one punch. 154 is good for him, but 168 I don't like for legacy. It's no good for Crawford. Ultimately, Marquez provided a definitive prediction advising Crawford to remain within his natural weight limits. He asserted, I don't think Crawford can beat him. He's a good fighter, but it's not his weight. He needs to make the fights at his natural weight. No more weight classes after 154 for him. Lou DiBella has also weighed in, advising Crawford against seeking a matchup with Canelo, particularly after watching his performance against Madrandella. Remarked, Bud boxed like Bud and won still. I think he had less snap on his punches at 154 lbs. Not much power evident. Think that resulted in Madoff getting maybe too much credit, that and the frustration his bouncy herky-jerky style was creating for Bud. 168 no, not now. Paulie Malaji also weighed in on Terence Crawford's career trajectory, suggesting that he should remain at the 154 pounds weight class and consider bouts against rising contenders like Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fondor, and Tim Tszyu, while acknowledging that Crawford may not possess the brute strength typical of some fighters in this division. Malaji emphasizes that Crawford's remarkable boxing intelligence and technical skills enable him to hold his own against any opponent. However, he also points out the inherent risks involved, especially given Crawford's age of 36 and the fierce competition within the 154 PB category. Paul stated Crawford's not exactly the strongest of fighters at 154 lbs, but his IQ is so high that he can compete with anyone there, just not without risk. He's in a very competitive division, and he's 36 years old. The prospect of him fighting Tim Tszyu, Sebastian Fondor, Virgil Ortiz, Jr. Siri Bochuk, or Madoff again is very appealing. Carlos Adams, who has sparred with Crawford, repeated these sentiments, cautioning that Crawford should be wary of facing Canelo at this stage in his career. He pointed out that Canelo's punching power poses a serious threat to Crawford's health and safety.
Pienso que sí, ya que subir 3 divisiones bastante libre, demasiada yo diría. Pienso que no es algo que él lo necesita ahora mismo. Crawford en su carrera ha demostrado que es un buen peleador, pero pienso que no tiene que estar corriendo esos grandes riesgos, porque no solamente pone su carrera en riesgo, también pone su vida, porque un golpe de Canelo le puede hacer daño de por vida.
I don't think Crawford needs the Canelo fight right now. I think it's kind of needless for Crawford because his reputation is well cemented, and a punch by Canelo could not only be dangerous for him to lose the fight, but it could be dangerous for his life. So no need for Crawford to cross the line into such a heavy weight class.
Gracias, campeón.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts about this situation? To let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.